This episode takes you behind the scenes of a special Turkish cooking class I'm hosting. Rose-shaped böreks, Istanbul-style sarmas, spicy çiğ köfte, and sweet kömbe cookies from Hatay. Each recipe brings a different taste of Turkey to the table. I'm preparing all of this for a special cooking class with students visiting Istanbul from around the world through the Erasmus program. Join me as we cook, share flavors, and bring people together with food. About 3 days before the event, I made a big batch of these kömbe cookies. They keep really well for weeks, so preparing them ahead makes everything so much easier. And while I'm shaping the dough here, let me tell you a bit about Hatay kömbesi. This is a traditional cookie from the Hatay region, and what makes it so special is the beautiful spice blend and the wooden mold used to give it its pattern. Every family has their own touch, but the aroma is unmistakably cinnamon, mahleb, clove, nutmeg, allspice, and sometimes even mastic gum. A cookie that feels like a celebration. And this is how it's gonna be looking after it is baked. I already made a small batch to eat at home and to work on the recipes one more time before I make it for the event. Since I'm making for a big group, I wanted to scale this time, and this was around 25 grams for each cookie. The dough itself is simple but very characteristic. It has butter, olive oil, some milk, and the kömbe spice, but no egg. Actually, kömbe is known for being more about the fragrance and the texture than sugar. It is not overly sweet. Once you press the dough and tap it out, arrange everything on a tray and bake until lightly golden. They keep really well too. People often make big batches for holidays or to take when visiting family. I have the full recipe and the measurements on my archive. I will add the links for you. Now I'm moving on to the gül böreği. Beautiful rose-shaped pastries with a spiced potato filling. For the filling, I started by sauteing lots of onions in olive oil until it is caramelized. Then add the mashed potatoes. And for the spices, some pul biber, chili flakes, black pepper, and salt. And a little bit pepper paste just to give some color and taste. I'm using classic Turkish round yufka sheets, and before shaping I just brush the yufka lightly with oil. I'm using mix of vegetable oil and olive oil here. You can use either brush or just fold and open from the sides to get every bit oiled. Then I sprinkled some flour to give extra crunchiness and effect that is made homemade. Then I cut the yufka into 6 triangles. And here is the trick I discovered recently, which makes the rose shape come out so much nicer. Instead of putting the filling on the short side of the triangle, I spread it along the long edge. And this way I get a longer roll, and when I start coiling it, the gül böreği becomes fuller and more defined. It looks much prettier once baked. You can also tuck the end underneath so it holds its shape better while baking. After shaping each one, I arrange them on a tray and brush the tops with a bit of egg wash. If you make big batch as I do, make sure to spread a freezer bag between each layer so they don't stick each other. After they get hard, I will put them into a container and it will be ready to bake right from the freezer. Now I'm moving on to the sarma, Istanbul style, with that beautiful mix of spices that makes this version so fragrant. Before I start rolling, I want to talk about the stuffing, because this is really where the flavor begins. The filling starts with sauteed onions, and in this case, a lot of onions. I used for 1 kilogram of rice 2 kilograms of onions and sauteed for about 20-30 minutes in a good amount of olive oil. Then I added a soaked rice that I rinsed and drained well and continued to saute it for about 5-10 more minutes. When the amount is bigger, every step takes a bit more time compared to the smaller amount. Here I added more extra virgin olive oil. For the flavor, this is also a must. We are making an olive oil sarma. And here are the spices, adding cinnamon, then allspice, black pepper, dried mint, currants, and chopped parsley and dill. And of course, a little bit sugar to balance the flavors. It creates that sweet, savory harmony that Istanbul is known for. The grape leaves I'm using are brined and quite salty, so I give them a quick 1-minute boil just to soften them and remove the excess salt. If your leaves are thicker, you can boil a bit longer. If they are very thin, even less is enough. Then I rinse them under clean water, drain them well, and now we are ready to rock and roll and start wrapping our sarmas. And I have to say, for this big batch, I was lucky to get a little help. When you are making so many sarmas, an extra pair of hands is always worth it. I asked my husband to take the stems off the leaves and lay them out for me so I could focus only on adding the filling and rolling. Then we found an even better system. He spread 6 leaves on one tray for me. I rolled those, and while I was working on that batch, he prepared another tray with 6 more leaves. It became this nice little assembly line, and the whole process went so much faster and smoother. Sometimes small teamwork makes a huge difference when you are preparing for a crowd. Once we finished rolling everything, I started placing the sarmas neatly into the pan, nice and tight so they hold their shape while cooking. Then I add the water and soda and let them cook slowly until the rice was tender and also the leaf. Then I let the whole pot rest overnight, which actually makes them even more delicious. Later that night, after everything had cooled and rested, I packed up all the ingredients and tools I needed for the sarma demo. I have all the spices here we're gonna use tomorrow. And these are the fillings, the grape leaves, and these are cooked sarmas. Looks beautiful. They're gonna rest. Well, everything going to rest, so I take a little rest too. Early the next morning, it's time to get moving. I quickly take the böreks out of the freezer, place them on trays, and pop them into the oven to bake while they get golden and crispy. Then I moved on to shaping the çiğ köfte. I actually made 2 big batches yesterday as well, but I didn't film that part. The recipe is already on my channel, so you can check out that episode if you want to see how it's made. Çiğ köfte are spicy bulgur balls, a classic Turkish street food. They make perfect appetizers. Today we'll serve them with fresh lettuce, lemon wedges, and a drizzle of pomegranate molasses. With the first light of the day, we carefully pack the sarmas into plastic containers, trying to arrange them evenly according to their sizes. My daughter here even helped a little before heading off to university. It was sweet to have her help and a little family moment before the busy day began. Even packing up everything was a little stressful, trying to make sure nothing was left behind and that we wouldn't be late. But in the end, we managed everything just fine, and it felt so good to see it come together for the class. And here we are at the Turkish cooking class workshop. We had 33 girls from around the world, all visiting Istanbul through the Erasmus program as a cultural exchange. Well, it wasn't easy filming myself while running the workshop, but after I introduced Turkish cuisine and explained a bit about sarma, the ingredients and the spices, the students really enjoyed wrapping the leaves themselves. Olsun, o da güzel oluyor yani. Tamam, güzel, harika. Pick out the stem.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Good. The fat version we make when we make with meat, as yours.
Yeah.
Yes. When it is like with olive oil, which is this one, we usually make thinner.
Okay.
So that's the difference, but it's perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Almonds, yes, perfect. And where were you from? Morocco. We had such a fun day sharing stories about the similarities and differences in our cuisines, learning from each other, and tasting everything together. Çayla beraber yiyeceğiz. Perfect. Good. Looks nice. Okay. Yeah, let me see how it's okay. Afterwards, we finished with a Turkish tea time experience with all the treats I had prepared. It was so heartwarming to see everyone enjoying the food, asking questions, and connecting over flavors. With potato filling. With potato. I feel truly grateful for these moments, sharing a part of my culture, seeing curiosity and excitement, and being able to teach in such a warm, open environment. Okay, Şeyma will show you how to eat köfte. Okay? I'm already looking forward to continuing these workshops, meeting more amazing people, and exploring even more flavors of Turkey together.